Alright, so which one of these Roku devices is right for you? As you can see, we have three of them here, so let's get into it. First, let's start with what all Roku devices will do. So anyone you purchase, all of them can access over 3,000 channels. They can all connect to a TV via the HDMI input, and we're going to go over that later. They fully support 1080p HD video, and they support wireless internet connections. This is great because I just came back from Vegas and Chicago, and I brought my Roku stick with me, the streaming stick, this one right here. And it was beautiful. I just looked at the TV in the hotel room. In the back, there was an HDMI input. I plugged up my Roku stick, connected to the wireless, and I was able to access all of my paid for subscriptions. So I have DirecTV Now, which I showed you in the previous video. I also have Netflix, Amazon Prime, so you have a lot of options when traveling, okay? And also, they all come with this handy remote control as you see here. Now let's talk about the Roku Ultra. This is a very nice and slick looking unit as you can see here. And for me, it's more for the sophisticated power user, someone who wants to take advantage of all the different features. For me, I like the Roku streaming stick, and as we go forward here, you'll see and make the determination if this is right for you. But first off, let's talk about the features. Number one, the Roku Ultra comes with a USB port on the side of it, and it allows you to play video from an external hard drive. Again, if you're a power user, you'll probably know what I mean by this. If not, let's keep going, but let me show you real quick. On the left hand side here, there is another port. It's a USB port, and that's how you connect to the actual external hard drive, okay? The optical audio output, this is nice because it allows you to connect to your home theater system. So right here, this guy right here is an optical out, and most home theater systems has an optical input, which will allow you to connect to the Roku device. So that's a very good feature, one that the other devices don't have. It has a voice remote, so that's kind of cool. So you can talk into the remote. So if you want to search titles without actually, typing, say stuff like HBO, Showtime, it'll pop it up. If you want to research a title, or I'm sorry, search for a title, like a movie title, you can speak into it and it will find it pretty quickly actually. I will show you this in the how to find channels on Roku video below, okay? The remote finder. This is very, very nice because on the actual Roku device, you can hit a button and it will send a signal to the remote and the remote will start to beep, allowing you to locate it. So that's a good feature. The Roku Ultra also supports these different video formats, 720p, 1080p, and 4K, which is ultra high definition. Now, 1080p is good enough for me, but depending on you and your personality and what you like, 4K is very, very good, a lot better than 1080p, but you can't really tell unless you do a side-by-side comparison. So if you want, you can easily go to YouTube and type in 1080p versus 4K, and there's lots of videos that will show you the difference between the two resolutions. Now, from far away distance, 1080p is just fine. It's still ultra, well, it's not ultra high definition, but it's very high definition for me anyway. It's only an issue when you start to zoom in and you want to look at things close up, which typically when you're watching a TV show, that's not the case. So I'm okay with 1080p. If you like 4K ultra high definition, then the Roku Ultra definitely supports that. All right. And then gaming buttons. Again, power users, I would think this is more for the millennial generation, and I'm not sure why the millennials would want to play video games on the Roku Ultra. And what I mean by video games is you can hook up your phone and play stuff like Minecraft. Again, if you're like me, you're over 40, you're just looking to get rid of your cable. At least that's what I wanted to do. I'm not really interested in playing games, but you do have that option available. Let me show you what I mean. The remote here has an A and B button, which is not available on the other Roku streaming sticks or the Roku Express or Express Plus. So you have your A and B buttons here. You can use the controller here to the left to maneuver. And so, you turn it sideways and you have kind of like a, I almost said joystick, but you know what I mean, like a game controller, okay? So that's it for the Roku Ultra. Let's move on to the Roku Express and Express Plus. All right, so this is pretty straightforward. As you can see, the Express here on top and the Express Plus below. And what are the differences here? Well, we have power here for the Express, and down here we have power for the Express Plus. HDMI output for the Express, HDMI output for the Express Plus. The only difference is this right here, the audio video out. And so if you have an older TV that does not support or does not have an HDMI input, then the way you get the video and sound to those older TVs is through this audio video out. And so if you look at the cable here, this cable, the stereo tip here, plugs into the audio video output right here. And then you will connect the yellow RCA connection to the back of your video of your TV. And you will connect the red and the white to the stereo audio inputs in the back of the TV. So let's go check that out. And once again, the Express and Express Plus, you can access over 3,000 channels, connect to a TV via HDMI, fully supports 1080p HD video, supports wireless internet connections, my favorite, and they all come with the remote control. Now, in terms of hooking this up, some of you may know this and some of you don't, so let's cover it. Here is the back of a TV, and here's the Roku Express Plus. I don't recommend getting the Roku Express because, as you'll see in a minute, you'll be able to just purchase the Roku streaming stick. So, for older TVs, as you can see here, the yellow, it's like this green RCA input highlighted in yellow. So you would take the yellow RCA output connection from your Roku, plug it up there, and then you'd have your stereo left and right, as you can see here, audio, and you would plug it into the red and the white. And as you can see, it says audio video in 1. And to the left, you see a 1 and a 2. When you turn your TV on, you want to make sure that you select the input. On your remote control, it'll say input, and you select that input, in this case, number 1, because we're going to hook up the Roku outputs to the television 1 input. As you can see above here, there's a 2. That's input 2. And if we go up and look at the HDMI connections, you see it says DVI1, and this would be the corresponding DVI2. And I'll show you this in the next video, all right? So that's the Express and the Express Plus. Once again, I recommend if you don't need to connect to an older TV, then you'll want to check out the Roku streaming stick. And on a side note, the Roku Express and the Roku Express Plus, these guys are made to be stationary, meaning they're not really made to unplug and take it with you on the go, hotel rooms, traveling, different parts of the country, etc., etc. These are made to basically stay with the TV and not unplug. All right? So, let's move on to the Roku streaming stick. This is my favorite device out of all of them. Okay, the Roku streaming stick. Basically because of the simplicity. All you have is the Roku stick itself, and then you have the Roku streaming stick remote control. Now, if you look right here, the HDMI input is pretty much built into the stick. So all you have to do is on the back side here, plug in the power cord, and you're good to go. And I won't go through the bullet points again, but we've been through this a few times, and so it supports all of these. But really the key is how simple it is to just locate an HDMI input in the back of a TV, plug in your Roku stick, make sure it has power, and you're good to go. Now you will have to take the remote control of the TV and find the input. So on the remote control, there'll be an input button. You hit that, and on your TV, you should see all of the input selections that you see here. You'll see an audio video 1 input, audio video 2 input, and then you'll see the HDMI 1, HDMI 2 inputs, you got a PC in, so you'll be able to select all of these. So if you put the Roku stick into, let's say, DVI1 right here, then all you have to do is when you see the input selection on your TV, select DVI1 and the Roku stick will appear. And in the next video, I'm going to show you this. So lastly, just on a side note, The Roku stick is very, very portable. So if you ever thought about hosting, let's say, a Super Bowl party, then guess what? You can actually plug in the Roku stick into the back of a projector and then project onto any surface, whatever it is you want to project. And so I know we host a lot of Super Bowl parties, and that's why I thought of this, because I used to have to take the cable box and try to figure out how to get it to a location that's out of the way of people and foot traffic. So with this is just over the internet, and it works pretty good. I'm telling you, you will be surprised that you're streaming your video over the internet. And so it's pretty portable. It makes everything real simple. Like I said, when you travel, go on road trips, that's all you take with you is that stick and that remote, and they're very small. They fit in the palm of your hand. So I couldn't be happier with my Roku stick. I think you should go ahead and pick one up. I haven't really said yet, but at the bottom of all these videos, there's a button that will take you over to Amazon and show you all the different devices that we've just discussed. So just go ahead, go pick you up one. If you have Amazon Prime, the shipping is 2 days, so you'll have it within the next 2 days, and you're going to enjoy it. So hope you like it, and let's go to the next video where I actually physically show you how to connect the Roku device to your TV. All right, see you there.